award. The first one we had happened was with Bambi Valance and Deputy Tackett, Deputy Adams saved her life, and then we had one with Brian Gilbert, father and son, that saved another life at the school. So Carrie, which one do you have first there for me?
Gilbert.
If we can bring up Deputy Gilbert's and Brandon, you want to come up? Come on right up front, okay, Brandon? And Deputy Brian Gilbert Sr. and Deputy Brian Gilbert Jr. Not very often you get to give a life-saving award, and you get to give one to father and son. Usually it's the father watching the son get the award, or the son watching the father get the award, but today they shared it in saving a life, and it was Brandon's life. So let me run through the quick scenario what happened, and then we'll give you guys some awards. So I have an award for Brian Jr., and they are the same. So I'll read one synopsis and present both awards. The award is recognized of Deputy Brian Gilbert Jr. and Sr. for professional and excellent response in the life-saving of 11-year-old Brandon Wright on September 15, 2014. Deputy Brian K. Gilbert Jr. and Deputy Brian D. Gilbert Sr. were dispatched to Sirline Junior Elementary School for an unresponsive 11-year-old boy who had no pulse and was not breathing. Deputy Gilbert and Gilbert arrived prior to the ambulance test and started performing CPR, getting an ambulance to the scene, and ambulance workers performed their duties, and Deputy Brian Gilbert cleared traffic for the ambulance, while Brian Other Gilbert drove the ambulance to the hospital. He had stopped breathing for no cause, was later recovered in surgery, and he got a defibrillator. Doctors determined that fast response by police, EMS, and the school principal, Wendy Tuttle, saved Brandon's life. Wendy, are you here? I want to bring Wendy also up. Wendy was probably the instrumental in getting this going. Wendy, she had been, if I get this right, Wendy, you were at a school within a few days prior to this?
The Thursday prior to the Monday this afternoon.
So we wonder why we have training. The Thursday prior to this incident, Wendy's at a school on the AED, new AEDs in the school. She finds the subject, and as a result, we have Brandon here today. So I'll present this first to Wendy. Thank you very much, Wendy. We're proud of you, our principal. And Wendy used to be at the high school, now she's at our school in town here. And this one is for Brian Jr., which we call Minnow. And Brian Sr., which we call Fish. So we have a Minnow and a Fish working with us. And I want to give them their awards. First I'll give, we'll go to seniority, because obviously Dad, this is a life-saving award that presented by us. We really are proud of this, and we give this with great honor to Deputy Brian Sr. for saving Brandon's life and helping our community be a safer place. So I don't have very good eyes, so I got to try hard to get this thing hooked. So I think I can get it with a little bit of time. There we go. We got that. And for Brian Gilbert Jr., pretty good. We got dad and father and son, eh? You like that, Brandon? That's a good deal, right? Your mom and dad are here too, aren't they?
Yes, they're in the back.
It's great to have good parents, isn't it?
Yes.
It is awful good to have that.
We're very grateful for everybody that's watching.
And there's your Brandon. Would you like to say anything to the board? These people behind you, Brandon, in case you know, they would put us all to work. They're the funding agent that buys us our cars and buys us our tools and sends us to training. And so they're the reason that we're able to help you. Without those guys, there wouldn't be any law enforcement in Ogemaw County.
Thank you for providing law enforcement for this town and for these men to save my life and all that.
You're welcome.
You're very welcome.
If you guys weren't here, they wouldn't be here, and
you wouldn't be here. That's very good. Brandon, anything else you want to say? Let's get together. We'll do this in here again. Obviously.
I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas and a happy New Year.
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you very much. Santa's coming, that's right. Tomorrow night he'll be coming, so you guys don't be messing with him. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Gilbert. Proud to have you guys on my team. The next one is a little different scenario. Bambi, if you'd come up, please. There's Bambi. Bambi, obviously a personal friend of mine, known Bambi for a long, long time. Watched her grow up with a little girl. And we'll set the stage here. Deputies, come on up. About 3 o'clock in the morning, was it, Steve? About 3 a.m., quiet night. And these guys are sitting at the office, and they get a call. And they respond. And as a result, we say, I'll read you the little synopsis that we have. This is for Deputy Joseph Adams and Deputy Stephen Tackett. The award is recognizing Joe Adams and Stephen Tackett for his professional and excellent response in saving the life of Bambi Valance. On May 3rd, 2014, Deputy Joseph Adams and Deputy Steve Tackett were dispatched around 2 a.m. to the Valance residence for an unresponsive female who had no pulse and was not breathing. Deputy Adams and Deputy Tackett arrived to the scene prior to EMS. Deputy Joseph Adams performed chest compressions while Deputy Stephen Tackett performed mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Deputy Joseph Adams and Deputy Tackett also administered the AED, shocking Mrs. Valance a total of 6 times, alternating with CPR until EMS arrived to take over. A pulse was obtained. Mrs. Valance was loaded in the ambulance and transferred to West Branch Regional Hospital, where she's placed on life support. It was reported on May 7, 2014 by medical staff that Mrs. Valance was responding well and recovery process was expected to be soon. Doctors advised Mrs. Valance is alive today due to the response by Deputy Tack and Deputy Adams doing the CPR skills and AED. What is absolutely amazing, hey, ma'am?
Yeah, words can't describe it.
Words can't describe it. Thank you very much, Deputy Adams. Deputy Tackett.
Ready?
We're ready.
Here we go.
The last one will be the problem child. Or will get. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Bambi, hug.
Yes.
Bambi, anything to say to the commissioners or to the folks here?
Thank you guys very much for all the support you guys do. And I thank you all for coming out and having Merry Christmas.
Let's get a picture together with us here.